So the way I'm able to keep myself motivated and pushing forward through accomplishing goals and not allowing myself to get comfortable is to always have is number one, to always have another goal. But above that is humbling myself. So the way I go about humbling myself is I put myself in the circumstances that I was in before I accomplished my goal, and I use that feeling to fuel my new goal. So, for example, when I didn't have a car and I was focusing on getting a new car and manifesting that car, and then I manifested the car. So I celebrate, I celebrate getting a new car. I drive it for a couple weeks, couple months, even maybe. And, but what I do is I go back to what circumstance I was in before I got the car, which is taking the bus, walking, you know, the whole circumstance. And I put myself back in that mindset of how much I couldn't stand, how much I freaking hated walking, taking the bus. And I use that anger as particle flow. Because let me tell you something, energy is energy, period. What makes it positive or negative is where you aim it. So you can take anger, and anger is a high particle flow of energy. In other words, when you're angry, your vibration is heightened. The same way it's heightened when it's love, like when you're having sex. When you're having sex, you're vibrating at a high, excuse me. So I start talking about sex. You're vibrating at a high particle flow. And so it's the same thing with anger. Now, what you hear about is people directing their energies, their high vibrations, and those high frequencies towards their goals and using that energy to manifest their goals. So you can do that with love. You can do that with the sex energy. You can do that with anger, right? You can't do it with depression, sadness, because those are lower frequency vibrations. Anger is actually a higher frequency vibration than depression and sadness. So if you're ever feeling depressed and or sad, and the goal is always to feel better. The goal is always to feel good and feel better. If you're sad, getting angry about what it is you're sad about is actually a higher frequency. You're actually going up the emotional scale. And so when I'm in a situation where I've accomplished a goal, and now it's time to start focusing on another goal and get out of this celebration mode that I'm in for the one I just accomplished, I humble myself. I put myself back in the same circumstances that I was in prior to accomplishing my last goal. And then I use the anger that I feel, that I was feeling before. Like, man, dude, I cannot stand taking this bus. Oh my God. I'm so tired of walking. I don't want to walk anymore. Okay? What I'm going to do is I have a car. I'm going to have a car that's going to be the best car. It's going to make me feel so good. And I take that energy and I start thinking about the things that I want. Now that I know I have the car, I start thinking about what I want or whatever my next goal is. Man, and you know what I'm going to do, man? So I'm finna get $20,000 in savings and I'm finna go buy me an investment property. That's what I'm gonna do. Because when I get an investment property, the last thing I'm gonna have to worry about is a car. That's gonna get taken care of automatically. So immediately, even though I have a car at home, I'm sitting here talking as if I don't have one, but then I'm projecting that same energy flow into a thought, into a frequency, a vibration of my next goal, which is to purchase property or to get a house, or whatever it may be. But the point is the way I stay motivated, the way I don't allow myself to get complacent and get comfortable, is to constantly put myself back in the circumstances that I was in before, not to be thinking the way I was before, but to use that energy, to use that high frequency particle flow and direct that into my next goal. And you don't just have to use, anger, or you don't have to just do it that way. That's a way that works for me. It's a way that allows me not to get comfortable. That's the idea. I never want to get comfortable. I always want to stay uncomfortable. So that's what I do. I direct my energy. I use anger. I use, what can be perceived as anger, and I direct that towards something positive, which is my goal, the thing that I want to accomplish. So, that's just something that I've learned that works, because all energy is energy. Energy is energy, be it love energy, anger, whatever it is, all energy. But what makes it work to your advantage and or against you is where you aim it, where you project it, control it. That's control. It's like a light. Like this light right here, right? This light right here is just light that doesn't have any control. It's not focused light. So it's just literally just spreading everywhere, and wherever it lands is where it lands, and that's it. But if you were to take this same light, the same wattage, and you were to focus it and make it a beam, and you just focus that same wattage, same light, don't increase the voltage, the wattage, anything, but you take the same light that's right here and you put it into a focused beam of light, man, that light will probably burn through your hand. Because it's focused now. It's being aimed and targeted at a specific point. And that's the power that we have with our thoughts, with our energy, when we understand what we're doing, when we want to accomplish our goals and our dreams and our desires. It's the same principle. So, yeah, this is my 2 cents, man.